sit with the Scouts. We call you.
Should I start handing out pamphlets to people?
They were out front. Yeah, go ahead and sit.
Good afternoon. My name is Liam Anderson, and I am the Senior Patrol Leader for Troop 200. At this time, I'd like to remind you to silence your cell phones. Please rise for the presentation of the colors. Scout salute. For those not in uniform, place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, come forward. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Will Owen Clark please come forward and lead us in the Scout Oath?
Scout signs. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Will Javon Logan please come forward and lead us in the Scout law?
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, worthy, brave, clean, and reverent.
Two, post colors. Oh, all right. I'd like to bring up Father Greg for the invocation.
Let us pray. Gracious and loving Father, you are the creator and giver of life and all things good and beautiful. We thank you for your presence with us today as we celebrate and honor the hard work and accomplishments of Rachel. So we ask you, Lord, to bless her and her family, to support and encourage her. Continue to strengthen her and her inner self to persevere and live the oaths she has made. We ask your blessing to fall upon her fellow scouts, whose fellowship she has enjoyed along the pathway. We thank you for the scout leaders who gave us so much time and energy to develop young people. Bless them with the assurance that their work has influenced the course of many lives. We all benefit because of their sacrifices and leadership. Please help us to be mindful of your presence with us as we too continue your work through scouting and to be an example to others. Be within us to strengthen us, outside us to keep us, above us to protect us, beneath us to uphold us, before us to direct us, behind us to keep us on the right path, and all around us to love us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I would now like to bring up Mr. Eric Olson.
You all may be seated. We forgot to put that in. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Reaching the rank of Eagle Scout is not an easy task and not one that's done in a vacuum. It takes not only commitment by the Scout, but by their parents and leaders, as well as assistance and guidance from other Scouts, including Eagle Scouts. Troop 200 is proud to have over 215 Eagle Scouts on our rolls since the original charter in 1960. In the tradition of our troop, we'd like to recognize all Eagle Scouts from any troop in attendance here today. Would all Eagle Scouts in attendance please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Rachel's scouting journey was made possible by numerous Scoutmasters, Assistant Scoutmasters, committee members, merit badge counselors, and other volunteers. If you've been a volunteer for Troop 200, please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. Troop 200 would like to thank you for your support of Scouts and Scouting. Both the girls and the boys troops are successful because of the time and effort so many of you put into making a positive difference in the lives of these Scouts. By the power vested in me by the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, I declare this Court of Honor to be duly convened for the sole purpose of presenting the Eagle Scout Award to Rachel Renee Olson. Will Eagle candidate Rachel Renee Olson please come forward, escorted by Eagle Scout Owen Clark?
I am the voice of the eagles whose heights you struggled to reach. We remember well when you first came to the base of our mountain and how you looked up with ambition and determination. Pause for a moment. Look back over the trail you have climbed. Look back at the adventures you have encountered in your ascent. These experiences should not be forgotten, for they are a valuable teacher if you but heed them. When we remember when you took your first steps upon the Scouts BSA trail, with that first step you began living the Scout Oath and Scout Law. While you were on the trail, we watched you study, and then we watched you learn by doing. First, you were only a candidate, building yourself physically, mentally, and morally. Then, your fellow Scouts called you a tenderfoot, and they were right. You were indeed a tenderfoot. But not for long, for soon you reached the first ledge where you were greeted by a group of friendly second-class Scouts. Some, like yourself, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the Eagle Trail. You began to study more, you worked harder, and almost before you knew it, you came to another ledge, the ledge where first-class Scouts dwell. There, you found a tempting green meadow by a crystal-clear stream bathed by the sun. Here, you were tempted to remain, but your ambition stirred you on. We remember your progress when you turned the trail to become a Star Scout. You found the trail from first class had been an optional illusion, not as difficult as it had seemed. This spurred you on, and again you climbed higher. Now the trail was steeper. It was less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be heading in your direction. You looked back and saw the crowds below you. You looked up and saw very few above. With the same determination with which you started your climb, you continued on the trail. So now it was the badge of Life Scout, the heart badge that was placed on your uniform. You will never forget the thought in your heart in this moment. It has been experienced by most scouts upon reaching the ledge of life. Now I am close to Eagle. I will carry on. The trail becomes tougher but more interesting. The original simple principles, the Scout Oath and Scout Law, now have a fuller meaning. Your understanding of them was greater. Yes, we have watched your character unfold and mature. We have watched your leadership ability expand into a valuable asset. We have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increases. We have watched all these things in you. And now that you stand at the summit of the trail in the glory of sunshine and wind and cloud, at the threshold of your goal, we welcome you, for you have done your climbing in a true scout-like manner.
In just 2 years, Rachel made tremendous progress from someone who did not know the Scout Oath and Scout Law to someone who knows and lives the words. From someone who had only camped in family tents before to someone who is comfortable camping and field cooking on her own, as evidenced by the number of Golden Spoon, Golden Spatula, and Golden Fork awards she has won with various cooking groups. It took an incredible commitment on her part to complete the Eagle journey in the time she did. But make no mistake, she did complete every requirement along the way. To put this achievement in perspective, will Jennifer Anderson please come forward to provide an explanation of the Eagle badge and outline its requirements?
Of any 100 youth who become Eagle Scouts, 30 will drop out in their first year. Some may consider this limited participation as a failure, but later in life, all of them will remember that they had participated in scouting and will speak well of the program. Of the 100 who only rarely will one ever appear before a juvenile court judge. 12 of the 100 will come from families that belong to no church. Through scouting, these 12 and many of their families will be brought into contact with a church and will continue to be active all of their lives. 6 of the 100 will become pastors. Each of the 100 will learn something from scouting. Almost all will develop hobbies that will interest them throughout the rest of their lives. Approximately 1/2 will serve in the military and in varying degrees profit from their scout training. At least one will use scout training to save another person's life, and many will credit it for saving their own. Only 6 of 100 will reach the rank of Eagle, and at least one will later say that they value their Eagle above their college degree. Many will find their future vocation through merit badge work and scouting contacts. 17 of the 100 scouts that will become scout leaders as adults and will provide leadership to thousands of additional youth. A few notable Eagle Scouts include astronaut Neil Armstrong and James Lovell, President Gerald Ford, Hultier J.W. Marriott, founder of Walmart Sam Walton, Vice President for VWU Charles E. Bayless, President of Harvard University Lawrence S. Bacon, former Goldman Sachs CEO and the U.S. Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson, Academy Award-winning filmmaker Steven Spielberg, former Orlando Mayor Carl T. Langford, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court Stephen Bayer, Edward Bennett, the longest-serving member of the either House of Congress in Florida history, and Harry Brinkley Bass, a naval fighter pilot from World War II, awarded the Navy Cross twice, Silver Star once, U.S. Brinkley Bass, named after him. Only 1 in 4 youth in America will become scouts, but it is interesting to know that of the leaders of this nation in business, religion, and politics, 3 out of the 4 were Scouts. Today we honor 1 of the 6 Scouts in 100.
Adult leaders have carefully examined the qualifications of Rachel Renee Olson for the Eagle Scout Award. Here to discuss the examination and achievement is Mrs. Joan Zink.
Good afternoon. I am thrilled to be here to recognize our Rachel. My name is Joan Zink. I am the charter organizational rep from St. Michael's to Troop 200, both girls, boys, and the pack. So I'm the liaison. I'm the go-between between the church and all the activities. And I have been doing it for a long time. I've kind of lost track of how many years, but it's been a great joy. But it's really great to be here for our first girl Eagle, Rachel. You know, I have to admit, when we started talking about this, you hadn't even mentioned you wanted to do this. And then your dad and I talked, and we talked to the church, and we finally said, okay, we can do this. And then suddenly, there was a little voice that said, I would like to do it. And that really hit home for all of us. So we're thrilled that you are here, and we are here to celebrate you today. Rachel joined Scouts BSA in February of 2020 with the goal of obtaining Scouting's highest rank, Eagle. She was 16 years old at the time. And since all Eagle rank requirements must be completed before the age of 18, pursuing this goal meant that Rachel was taking on a process that most people traditionally complete in 5 or 6 years. But she squeezed it into under 2 years, in the middle of a global pandemic. Yet, in the midst of the COVID lockdowns, with the support and encouragement of her fellow Troop 200 Scouts and leaders, and many of whom are here today, and we thank you for coming, Rachel was able to push through on this aggressive timeline. And in particular, Jennifer Anderson really got the timeline going. There was no messing around. In order to make room for all of the scouting requirements, Rachel had to make sacrifices. She sacrificed her time. She sacrificed her sleep. Occasionally, she even sacrificed her schoolwork. And that is saying a lot for someone who is an overstudier. But she got the job done. Scout law has 12 qualities that the Scout lives by, and Rachel has all of these qualities. But a few of them stand out, and I will just go over a few of them. A Scout is trustworthy. Rachel is someone her friends can trust when they need a listening ear and know that she will not betray their confidence or reveal their vulnerabilities. She's just a great listener. A Scout is loyal. Rachel is someone her friends can trust and just always come to. She is fiercely loyal to her friends, fierce like a lion type. She is quick to defend a friend falsely accused, or stand up for a friend who has been treated poorly or been slighted in any small way. Things that we might take for granted, Rachel would address very graciously. A Scout is thrifty. Rachel is a good steward of money and natural resources. She makes good use of little tags they provide at Publix and that give the unit price for each grocery item. And also when she planned her Eagle project, 2 herb gardens for the St. Michael's Gather ministry, they cook food for about 400 to 500 homeless people each week. She made sure to include a compost bin, so that would help the gathering ministry. And finally, a Scout is brave, and I think this is really the important thing. It was a very brave thing that Rachel entered the scouting world as a girl. Since its founding with St. Michael's since 1960, Troop 200 only had a boys' troop. Rachel and several other girls banded together to form the girls' troop. They immediately received the support of Troop 200, scouts and leaders. But the new girls troop did face some immediate resistance, probably in the outside world. And I think that that could have been intimidating and possibly infuriating, but the girls pursued it. And we are very proud to have a girls troop at St. Michael's. And you are our first Eagle, so I am thrilled for you, Rachel. And I'm looking forward to following how Rachel does in everything else she does, because I know whatever you do, you're going to do it with the same gusto and love of life. So congratulations to our Rachel Olson.
Thank you, Joan. And now the presentation of the Eagle Award. Will Eagle applicant Rachel Olson please escort her mother to the front? We now proclaim to the entire world your accomplishments. The symbol of your success is the Eagle badge and neckerchief. I will present these awards to your mom. And in addition, we will present Rachel with a bronze Eagle Palm, which represents an additional 5 merit badges over the 21 required for the Eagle rank. I should say. Your mom and I will then in turn pin the badge over your heart and place the neckerchief around your neck. In recognition of the many hours of patient guidance given by your mother for your effort, you will pin the Eagle Mother's pin over your mother's heart.
And then didn't want to make him announce himself, but in recognition of the wisdom and guidance given to me by my father, who also happens to be my scoutmaster, I present to you an eagle pin to wear in my honor.
right, Rachel, please escort your mother back to her seat. All right. Rachel would now like to present mentor pins to the people who guided and helped her through her time with Troop 200. So, Rachel, the floor is yours.
All right, buckle up. I got a bunch of people who helped me. First off, to no one's surprise, would Miss Jen please come up? I know you all have heard a bit about it already in the ceremony, but there truly are not enough words to express all that Miss Jen has done for me in this journey. This ceremony would not be happening if it weren't for her guidance and her organizational skills in helping me plan this timeline. She has been so reliable and made herself available for all my random questions and panicked check-ins to see how I'm doing over the past couple years. On top of the countless hours she put in of her own time, figuring out merit badge schedules, talking me through the Eagle Project process, and a million other things. I am so immensely grateful to have been able to do my scouting journey under your guidance. Thank you for matching my determination to bring this dream to fruition. And then she couldn't make it today, but I do want to shout out Mrs. De Silva. While the De Silvas are no longer a part of Troop 200, they were a crucial support system during my first summer of Scouts as I blasted my way through Scout, Tenderfoot, Second, and First Class in the course of 2 months. I cannot count how many times I was at their house with several other Scouts to learn Scout skills, earn camping nights in the backyard, do patrol activities, etc. And every time Ms. De Silva was there, planning to make sure we got all our requirements knocked off through all the fun we were having, and making sure we never went hungry. I am so thankful to have found so many dedicated people so early in my scouting journey, and I'm grateful for all the time she spent driving, preparing, and hosting in order to help me progress. Okay. I have another one who I don't believe could make it today, but was so crucial, and that is Ms. Tara. For those of you in the troop, you know Ms. Tara was a steadfast supporter of the girls' troop from the very beginning of its formation. She was one of our most vocal supporters, stepping up to be assistant scoutmaster for the troop. And her support was so encouraging. She was also the advancement chair that made my quick progression possible, because she was always dedicated to finding a way to make sure all my merit badges, Scoutmaster conferences, and board of reviews got completed and submitted in time for whatever the next imminent deadline was. I would not have been able to complete this process if not for her support and her work. And then we have one that is here, Mrs. Zink. Would you please come forward? For those of you... For those of you who don't know, Mrs. Zink is our charter organization representative, the link between Scouting and St. Michael's, and has been for many years. As the charter organization representative, Mrs. Zink's support of the girls' troop was crucial in it being able to even form, and so I'm very grateful for that. She has been so encouraging of the whole troop and of me individually, even outside of scouting hours, whenever we'd run into each other at church or whatever. She always asked how I was doing, and I'm very grateful for that.
Of course.
Okay. And then I have one for my Scoutmaster. So if you please come forward. My interest in scouting is entirely a result of your stories from your childhood of how much you enjoyed the program and how proud you were of your own eagle. So I am so grateful that you were so supportive from the first moment when I decided in the Scout van on the way back from a Cub Scout campout that I wanted to pursue this for myself. From that point onward, you have given 110% of your time, effort, and opportunity to carve out a path that would make this goal possible for me, as evidenced by him being the Scoutmaster of the girls' troop. And he's done this not only for me, but for all the other girls who now get to enter the program and chase their own dreams. So thank you for letting me share in your scouting experience, and I'm really proud to be able to continue your legacy. All right, one more. We're almost done. And I think this one will be a surprise to even the person who's receiving it. Would Mr. Harms please come up? Mr. Harms may not have been a scouting leader for me, but he was as invested in and curious about my progress as any one of them were. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Harms has been my teacher for several years now, and I have entered or exited many of his classes to questions about how I was doing on my scouting journey and how the progress was going. Not only was this interest and conversation very supportive, I love when people were supportive outside of Scouts because it was very cool, but it also often reminded me that I had scouting work that I did actually have to get done that day. So I'm so grateful that you took an interest not only in what was going on outside of your classroom, but what was going on outside of school entirely. And your support was a huge encouragement.
Will Lewis Gafford please come forward and administer the Eagle Challenge?
Rachel, the foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. They know that a Scout is trustworthy is the first point of the Scout law for good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to them, but because of the vital significance of the example they set for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on their home, church, troop, and community. May the white of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to their family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. Their loyalty to their troop and fellow Scouts makes them pitch in and do their part. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but also the determination to stand up for what's right. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, the red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second class award, which has its ends turned up in a smile. And the final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still walk up Scout's trail, just as others helped you climb your trail to Eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning in adult life. The Eagle stands as a protector of the weak and helpless, provides aid and comfort to the unfortunate and oppressed, and upholds the rights of others while defending their own. They will always be prepared to put forth their best. You deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest honor, but wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guides for tomorrow and onward.
I am proud to administer the Eagle Scout charge to our newest Eagle. I ask that all Eagle Scouts in attendance please come forward and join me as I administer this charge. Everybody goes to the right. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most meaningful and significant movements in world history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked woman. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great and profound undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and your fellow Scouts. America has many good things to offer you and your children, but these good things depend primarily on the character of her citizens. You are to help her in all that she needs most. She has a great past. You are here to help make her future greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader and lead only towards the best. Lift every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow man. Live and serve that those who know you will be inspired to the finest living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record of which every Scout may be proud. Well, we've heard a lot today about Rachel and what it takes to be an Eagle Scout. Now it's time to hear from our newest Eagle Scout, Rachel Olson.
Hello. Hello, Troop 200s, friends, family, and everyone who made their way out here today. I stand before you today, fulfilling a dream that I've had since I was very young, but for years I thought was impossible. And as I'm able to make this dream into a reality, I feel so immensely grateful for all the people in this room, as well as many who are not here. I know firsthand that there is a team behind every successful Eagle Scout. In my case, that team's a little bigger. It includes every single member of Troop 200B, because you all welcome the girls' troop into your midst. We may just have been a couple of girls forming a troop, but it never felt that way because Troop 200B and Troop 200G have always felt like one big united troop. After visiting Woodruff this past summer, I recognize and am grateful for just how special that blended troop feeling really is. I also have to thank my fellow girls' troop members, those who came together and made this troop with me. You have all supported me in my progress in my leadership, and we've collaborated in winning many cooking competitions, and overall, you are just amazingly talented people and Scouts. Although my own scouting journey has reached its summit, I am still invested in yours, and know that my help is available if ever you should need it. I'm proud of y'all for the work you have put into making your place in Scouts, and I hope I can contribute to that today. I do have a couple more extra special shout outs to give out. First, I have to again thank the Andersons, the De Silvas, and Connor Mooney for all of their help during my first summer in Scouting. I took a lot of your time in teaching those first couple months, and you set me up for my success. I also want to thank the boys' troop SBLs that I had the pleasure of leading alongside. Owen, Andrew, and Connor, all three of you were receptive to collaborating with me, and I very much appreciate how intentional you were in including the girls' troop in your planning. It really made us feel like one, again, one big troop. I enjoyed leaning alongside you all, and I learned something from all of you. And to my friends outside Scouting who are here to support me today, thank you for complimenting and mocking me for being a Scout in equal measure. You made me a lot more confident in expressing that I was a Scout outside of the Scouting world, where it was a lot harder to express that being a girl. And you never made me feel weird for chasing this passion. So thank you.
Well, we have now reached that part of the ceremony where we open it up to the audience for any comments and memories of Rachel's time in Scouting. And I see some anxious people down here. So come on up.
Hello, everybody. Woo! I feel like I was just here for Zane's Eagle ceremony, but just wow. This is like, I'm all emotional. I have known Rachel for so long, and to see her succeed like this is just crazy to me, because for a very long time, Rachel and I were almost competing, because like we got, I think, live first class like on the same day, and like we would mock each other and be like, I'm getting my sorry, I got first class before her, like maybe 20 minutes, and I'd always rub it in her face, but here she is ahead of me. I hope I can reach this soon. I'm definitely working on it now, but Rachel beat me to it. I have so much to say, and I'll try to keep it short, but Rachel is one of the most kindest people I've ever known. She's one of my closest friends. I was at her graduation a few weeks ago, and that was amazing, and I got to meet some of her friends. Hi! It's so weird being here, because I just remember back, like, when I was still in just Scouts. I wasn't even a Boy Scout yet. And Rachel and I would be at like Kabaween or the crossover camp out, and I have so many great memories from there. Like with Liam, we were like the trio, like inseparable and inseparable. Oh my goodness. And just to see Rachel here is, I have no words. This is a mess, but like, I'm just so happy to be up here, and I almost didn't make it, but the fact that I'm here right now is, I'm just so happy. But one of my best memories of Rachel is at one of those campouts. All those years ago, we had hot chocolate packets, and these were amazing because as little kids, it's not like we could have coffee or anything, so hot chocolate was like the best thing in the world because it was pretty cold, it was October, which is surprising for Florida, but never mind that. We all went up there to get some, but Liam back here probably made the record and had like 8 packets in one cup. And Rachel and I are sitting here like, what's going to happen? And he like had a sugar high. It was a whole thing, but oh yeah, he without fail. But like, it's just those little things, like staying up very late, probably shouldn't have, but on campouts. It's just all those times leading up to today, I'm so happy. But thank you, Rachel, for all you've done for me, leading the troop together. Yes, thank you.
I had to write a little bit down so I didn't forget everything. First, I'm going to talk about what a great SPL she was. Like, she was one of the best SPLs because she always knew what needed to be done and was willing to help and not just tell people what to do. And she was just so responsible and made sure that everything got done. And also, I saw a lot of the behind the scenes, not all of it, but it was very stressful, and it's really amazing that she got it all done in the time that she did. And I know it took a lot of work, probably more than I realize, but that's all that I have.
Sorry. I don't remember when Rachel joined the troop. She kind of like snuck in for me. Like she wasn't there, and then I turned around and she was just there. But her and Zane are like two of the most responsible people I've ever seen in this troop, like in the Scouts. And she's great at delegating, but also doing the work at the same time, which is a great like. Oh, sorry. Like the tissues. Sorry. I just want to say she's a great person, and she's a great role model for everyone else here. And that's all I can say. I'm done.
Hi. So I'm Owen. But Rachel came into the troop when I started being an SPL, and she was probably one of the biggest helps starting off because she controlled a lot of the girls' troop, so I didn't have to worry about the girls' troop because she had it all under control. And I would just talk to Rachel, and Rachel would help me with whatever. And so I think also all the other patrol leaders who also helped me during that time. But I think Rachel was definitely a big part and also a big reason I'm an Eagle Scout, because I saw her going really fast and I was like, oh, I should probably also get going. Because she did it in 2 years, I did it in like 8. So she was moving way faster, and I saw her like coming up to where I was, and I was like, okay, maybe I need to start working on my Eagle now. So thank you for that, and that was really helpful.
Hi. Okay, so thank you, Rachel, for signing that one thing off. Love you for that, and bye.
Hi. So I first met Rachel in Cub Scouts. Jeez. And I didn't really like talk to her. She was just like Eric's weird older sister. So we just kind of like watched her, because she didn't really talk to anybody. She was just kind of there. And I remember one camp out, it was at Lenoche, and I was working there for the year. And like she was talking to people. It was kind of weird, but I just like rolled with it. And I started talking to her. I'm like, hey, she's not that weird. So, yeah, you're not that weird. Good job. Good job.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Olson. I'm Rachel's mom. Hi. And I just wanted to say that when Rachel came home 2 years ago, mentioning that she wanted to join Scouting and pursue Eagle, I said no. Because I'm her mom, I had very up close, firsthand personal knowledge of how full her plate already was, how many commitments she already had, how stressful some days already were for her, and how little free time she was able to give. So I said no. Well, much to my relief, we quickly calculated that it might not even be possible anyway, because, you know, normally it takes this long, and she had this long to do it, and I was like, oh, get out of that. And then Miss Jen called, the Eagle coordinator, and she said, I think I figured it out. And she had laid out this timeline, this very aggressive, very short timeline with all the merit badges, all the rank requirements, how long everything would have to take and when it would have to happen, because some requirements take this long, or maybe you can do them in a day. Other things take a 4-month process. Some requirements you can't even start them until this one's completed first. And so all of that had to overlap like just perfectly on a calendar to even meet the deadline of turning 18 years old. And Jen figured out how to make it happen. Thank you, Jen. So all that to say, fast forward 2 years today, and I just have to say, Rachel, I owe you an apology. I underestimated you. And mostly I underestimated God and what his plan was for this whole adventure. I underestimated how he would bring all of you, and so many that couldn't be here today because of COVID or traveling or something to that effect. I just had no idea. I had no idea how God was planning to use you and your heart and your time and your talents, and how much you would be able to sacrifice to come alongside Rachel, who was also willing to sacrifice, and come alongside her dad, who really sacrificed. I had no idea how God would work all that together for his good, and I am so grateful. Congratulations, sweetheart.
All right, well, I would be remiss if I didn't say something as well. So Rachel's right. I remember, for those of you scouts, you know the scout van, the 2 seats with the springs through the seat and everything. So we're coming back from Renegers at a Civil War camp out for Cub Scouts. And she just says, I think I'd like to become an Eagle Scout. And it was only about a year ago, so it was only in February of 19 that girls could join, that the scouting program was opened up to girls and renamed from Boy Scouts of America, or Boy Scouts, to Scouts BSA. And I had mentioned something to her in 19, and she had no desire whatsoever. And I'm thinking there's 3 years we could probably get it done. And so this is the 1st of February, the end of January of 2020. And she said, I'd like to be an Eagle Scout. And I'm like, okay. And then I immediately got on the horn with Miss Jen, and we laid it out. And it is doable, but it was extremely tight. Through all that process, we needed to charter a girls' troop. We needed to get her going. We needed to do all the other stuff, and COVID hit. And it was right through the midst of COVID in when everybody's locked down at home, there's no school, April, May, June, July, that a bunch of scouts that are here and a bunch of scouts that aren't here and leaders that are here and leaders that aren't here just jumped in and got it done. From camping in backyards to events at the De Silvas to hiking with Liam and way out there by UCF someplace to get a 5-mile hike in. Just everything had to be done in the order that it had to be done. And just severe thanks to everybody who, I'm going to forget names if I name names, but also I'm very proud of her for getting that done in that amount of time with all the other stuff that she had on her plate from life and school and college and everything else. And so it's possible, and I'm so proud to hear, or I'm so pleased to hear Owen say that sort of got him encouraged, because he was one of them that snuck in like right under the wire. You literally have to have the packet into council before your 18th birthday, and you cannot drop it off anymore. You have to mail it. So you've got to allow for that getting there. And so I'm very proud of Rachel for what she's accomplished in that time. And thank you to all the leaders, Boy Troop, Girl Troop, Cub Scouts, previous, past, current, that have helped come alongside us, get this going, and has been accepting of that. I mean, Joan, Peter, Jen, Scott, Paul Layton, the former Scoutmaster, Bill Raffier is back there, just everybody. I'm leaving people out, but anyone. Anyway, Troy Clark, our committee chair before, we had no problems coming up alongside the previous leadership and saying, hey, we want to charter a girl troop. Father Rick here at church said, yeah, we can do that. So it was a great thing. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. What an accomplishment. So today's been a very special day. Thank you all for coming and taking time out of your Sunday and participating in this wonderful event. So everyone is invited for refreshments in Quigley Hall afterwards. It's directly behind the sanctuary. You can go right down the hall here under the walkway over there. And we will see you over there after a couple of pictures. So this Eagle Scout Coat of Honor for Rachel Renee Olson stands adjourned. Will Senior Patrol Leader Liam Anderson please come forward to close the ceremony?
Thank you. Color Guard, please come forward to retire the colors. All here in attendance, please rise for a closing and remain standing for the following benediction. Scout salute. Retire the colors. Two.
Let us pray. Good and beautiful God, an Eagle Scout Court of Honor marks the end of one journey and the commitment to another. A commitment to better scouting where all may participate, a commitment to better citizenship, and a commitment to be an example of leadership to all. Walk with Rachel wherever her life takes her, and give her your strength, your compassion, your wisdom, and your love. And may all of us gathered here be committed to scouting's ideals, which instruct us to lead better lives. May we all follow your trails, discovering who we are by striving into the unknown with you, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
All right, everyone can head over to Quigley Hall, have some refreshments. Can I just ask all the Eagle Scouts that are here, would you just come up and we'll get a quick picture with Rachel before you go over? That's it.